This is going to be a lot of fun. Ohio State offensive line. Predict the starting lineup for opening day 2023. All right, so let's do this first. Let's assume everybody makes it through the spring and summer and into fall camp healthy. Okay,
Yes.
we don't lose any of these guys. We know that Ryan Day said the guards are not moving; they're going to stay put. So we know at least two starters right there.
Right.
I want you to predict going from left to right, starting at left tackle, who you think the starting lineup would be as of today if we had to play a game today.
Okay, yeah. So I did do that. I went with the assumption that we have not picked up anybody in the transfer portal to slide in.
Okay.
So for me, because I do think we will pick up somebody in the next cycle, but for me right now, I think it's got to be Zim Mikowski starting at the left tackle. I really think he's going to get the nod. However, if he does struggle, don't be surprised to see redshirt freshman Tagara. I'm never going to get his name right, Eric.
Shabola. Yeah.
Shabola. There we go. He may be poised to step in. We've heard a lot of great things about this young man. He's probably still a little bit raw, but we've heard a lot of positive things, and he may be willing to, or maybe in a position to pressure Mikowski should he, start to stumble a little bit. As you said, oh, go ahead.
I was going to ask you why Zen over Josh Fryer, because Josh Fryer actually got playing time at left tackle this year.
I think you're going to see Fryer at the other tackle.
At right.
Yes.
Okay, so that's interesting because I have them flipped. I've got Fryer at left tackle being the older, more mature, experienced guy, and Zen Mikowski at right. However, if it's 10, 10-1, half a dozen the other, right? Why
Yeah.
wouldn't you put the younger guy at left tackle if he's going to be all right
Correct.
there and have an extra year? So I'm picking up what you're putting down, brother.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was my thought process. Obviously we know, like you said, Donovan Jackson's going to be back at the left guard. Right now I think you got to go with the redshirt junior Jacob James at center. I think he gets the nod here, but if he struggles, you got that transfer Victor Cutler, and as well as redshirt sophomore Toby Wilson, who could be poised to challenge. But I think Jacob James gets first crack at it. And then, like you said, Matthew Jones is going to be back to play the right guard. And as I mentioned, I think Josh Fryer's there at the right tackle. But again, you got a young guy in Ben Chrisman who's, really wanting to get on the field as well. So might see a little bit of a competition there as well. I am a little surprised, though, that there was not even an inkling of a thought to move Donovan Jackson to the outside. I mean, initially he was, I believe, recruited as a tackle, was he not?
Who was that?
Donovan Jackson.
It could, but he could went either way. It was guard, but he had the length and size to possibly move
Yeah.
to tackle. But I was surprised with that as well. Yes.
Yeah. So for me, that was a little bit of a surprise. But you know what? I think Ryan Day's probably doing it to keep continuity on that inside of that line.
Yeah. So I'm with you there, Chris. I think definitely that, because there was a lot of people that thought Donovan was going to be straight up going to move to tackle. But I kind of understand what Ryan's doing here. If you have those guards in place, and they played very well last year,
They did.
and remember there was such an emphasis on the running game last year, right?
Yes.
Why wouldn't you keep that stability there, especially if you're going to even lean on that running game a little bit more because you're breaking in a brand new quarterback?
Correct.
So having those guys there, especially one, those two guys, and they can pull, they can get out, they're confident in what they're doing. Plus, they're on either side of a brand new center.
Right. And you know what? I think you're going to need to see, like I said, I think these are the type of guys who can open up an inside running game. And I think you're going to need to see that because I think Kyle McCord's friend is going to be the play action pass. I really do.
Mm. So do you think Kyle McCord lines up under center a little bit more than what we've
I
seen?
don't
I
know
mean,
if he
we
lines
did
up.
see it a little bit this
We
past
saw it a
year.
little bit. We saw it a little bit. I don't know if I'd say he lines up a majority of the time, but I do think we'll see it some. Um, I mean, let's face it. He does not have the rushing ability to get out there and really be. We're not going to see an option out of Kyle McCord. We're just not.
I don't know. I mean, okay. I mean, just hear me out real quick. We had a pretty much a statue back there until the final game of the season in CJ Stroud.
But the difference is, I think CJ Stroud had a lot more athletically going on than what we have with McCord.
We don't know that.
I think McCord's going to be a very solid quarterback, but McCord is going to be your pocket passer. He's not going to be somebody who's going to get out and move the pocket. And I mean, he'll extend plays, but he's not going to move the pocket and take off.
I'm going to push back. I'm going to push back on you a little bit.
Okay.
Because hear me out. What if Ryan Day moves him out of the pocket just to as a quarterback to narrow that field down? Hey, we're going to concentrate on the right side or the left side of the field here. Let's move you out of the pocket to kind of simplify things for him a little bit. And this is going to be a great question for our guest coming up, because he's a former quarterback and he knows he's forgotten more about the position than you and I will ever know combined. But I have heard experts talk about that. Get the guy out of the pocket, give him a couple options, and there you have it.
But I'd be more confident in that if we had a more established offensive line. Now you're asking these tackles who are brand new to block on the move.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be very interesting to see. I'm excited, Chris, to get to see the spring game. I think that's going to be a very interesting. What comes out of the spring, I think, will be very telling for us on this. But I'm with you for the most part. I think we flip-flop the tackles, but we'll see if they bring anybody in. Plus, there is a wild card here that I do want to mention to you. He was a freshman last year. I believe that there is an opportunity or a place, for someone like Carson Hinsman to have an opportunity to maybe get some playing time here. He was a big-time recruit last year.
Yes.
We stole him from Wisconsin. If things break down and they've got to move Donovan, kick him outside, I wonder if he's the one they slide in. Plus, we're going to have a fourth-year player in Emok Vamahi.
Yes. Yeah.
So there's going
to
be some
I'm a little
depth.
disappointed. I kind of thought that maybe the Vamahi would get a chance. I thought they would bump Jackson out and maybe give him a shot, but we'll see.
We shall see.
Ryan Day, you know what? As much as I get on him, Ryan Day knows a whole lot more about this than I do. So
That's right. So here's what we do. We have last time I checked, we had 49 followers on YouTube. Yes. All of you 49 plus anybody else this week that signs up, we will have a drawing next week on the live show here on Sunday night, and the winner of that drawing will receive a free OHIO podcast Hang On Sloopy t-shirt. There it is. We have them from small all the way up to 5X for us big fellas, okay? So don't you worry about that. And all you have to do to be in the drawing is just subscribe to our YouTube channel. And then that'll automatically put you in the drawing. And then next Sunday, we will draw a winner for that t-shirt as our way of celebrating the new partnership with Fansided and Scarlet and Game and all of you there who are following us on YouTube.